99% of Nigerian women say they don't attain orgasm in their entire marriage. That's why women will tell you, start texting me, let me be in that mental space ready for you. But most of you, you will not listen. You just go, 10 years, your wife has not come once. Odogu, what are you? The most important part of a man's life is his seed. But that's why God said, go and multiply. Mothers are angry, and the anger of their mothers, you will see it in the children. You know, the children of nowadays, they come out frowning. Have you seen all these children? It's the anger of the mother.
Burna Boy, this video, they ask you question. How many oil did he drop?
He said fellow artist. I think that's an insult to Burna Boy.
The Nigerian government is trying to bring people home, but most have not expressed a desire to come back.
Whenever there's a problem anywhere, black people and Africans are always like the casualty, like you must collect.
Welcome to the tribe, Africa.
Woo!
Let's get right into it. Outspoken Nigerian singer Darlington Okoye, better known as Speed Darlington, has been granted bail after being detained. His arrest followed allegations of defamation and cyber-stalking against fellow artist Burna Boy. The controversy stemmed from a video in which Speed Darlington reportedly mocked Burna Boy's connection with American rapper Diddy, who was recently arrested by the FBI on multiple charges, including sexual exploitation. In the video, Speed Darlington further challenged Burna Boy to clarify how he secured his Grammy Award for the album Twice as Tall, which was released in 2020 and was executive produced by both Diddy and Burna's mom, Bose Ogulu. Here's the video.
After Burna posted his picture with Diddy, the next year I've been at the same particular year, Burna won Grammy. You understand me? All I they do since in Aichiche. So I just wonder, Burna Boy, this video, they ask you questions. Don't get offended. Now question they ask. How many oil did he drop for your nyash before they give you that trophy? Burna, how many oil did them rob for your nyash before? Burna, I'm asking you serious question. Them say them see 1,000 bottles of baby oil for Diddy house. And I know say after you snap with Diddy, you won Grammy. How many? I see magazine. You know they put oil for my body before they go give me kiniko. I just collect them off of merit. You blow after you snap with P. Diddy. You was under his arms, sucking up to Black America. Burna, come to this comment section and clear something. We want to know.
What are your thoughts on the arrest of Speed Darlington?
In your initial opening, you said fellow artist. I think that's an insult to Burna Boy. Because Happy he's a comedian. He does not do anything.
He's not a fellow artist.
Fellow for where? He's an insult to anybody that has raised the level that the Burna have attained. And
so what league does he belong in if he doesn't belong in the artist
league? An online jester. That's what he is. He's a comedian. Do you dance to Akme's songs? do you rock to Akme's song?
I've never heard anybody say, "Hey, put on that Acme for me."
How many oil they use for your yash? Now, I've heard a lot of Nigerians say there's freedom of speech, but your freedom after speech is not guaranteed. I feel like there was an excessive use of power, and this is the part of Nigeria that drives me crazy sometimes. And this is why everybody in Nigeria seeks to get bastard money, because they want to be able to, use power when they feel offended. Yes, Akpi went to the extreme, insulting his mom, saying all of those, the insinuations and all of those things. Still, there's nothing criminal. He has not committed a crime. It's a civil case. Go follow the procedure for that. Taking advantage of your position and using the police to intimidate a fellow citizen, however annoying that citizen is wrong. Is wrong. That being said, I also share the sentiment, that a lot of people have on, the way bloggers and many people online just take the liberty these days to just say anything because there isn't any repercussion. That's the arrest, for a couple of days because Bonner was like, who is missing, on Twitter. It reminds us that despite the fact that everything looks a little bit despotic in Nigeria now, like we're living in a Gestapo state, we still need to be careful. So I hate that I'm saying that freedom of speech is not, there's really no freedom with your speech in Nigeria.
Okay,
You've been waiting for
for
this.
for the Acme and Acme one mama, by the way, you have to put the one mama. Acme one mama, Presido, you have to put it there. Between Acme and Burna Boy, right? First thing first, right? I don't support any form of oppression or oppressive, reactions and actions taken against people. I don't support any form of maybe. At the same time, I don't support cyberbullying and all of that. I'm not a party to that. However, Burna Boy has a right to defend himself or defend his image, defend his name. He has a right to do that. Now the process or the procedure that he decided to use, or the style that he decided to to apply, so making sure that he gets some level of maybe protections for his name and his image. He's here and there. Some people might not be okay with it. Some people might be like, yeah, I mean, it's good because someone was saying that, look, if Burna Boy didn't do it that way, if Burna Boy just gone to take him to court, like people say, which is the ideal way to go, and didn't pick him up and he went missing for some days. People started looking for him. People started looking for him online and all of that. People wouldn't have probably heard this whole thing. Now it's big news. It's real shit. Everybody knows about it. Like, look, man, this man was picked up and nobody saw him for a few days. So like I said again, for me personally, I would say Burna Boy should take him to court. And of course I'm sure that there are laws against them. Defamations and libels and all of that. Take him to court. Let the court process, take its course and make sure that everybody gets just at the end of the day. However, what people must know is this, like what a guy called Ramajago will say. Ramajago, you say online low, you can talk online low. When you're online, be careful what you be saying about people, because in as much as Burna Boy is celebrity and all that, these people have feelings. They're humans at the end of the day. They're not robots, they're not AIs, they're not bots, they're actual humans like you and I. So know what you say to them, know how you come across to them, know how you just go against them and talk evil and bad and negative about them. Because at the end of the day, right, this whole thing, what even makes it much more annoying to me personally is that it was really, really unprovoked. People, and some people might be like, oh yeah, but we talk about like presidents and governors and all of that. These people are in charge of making decisions that affect our lives personally, directly. So if they're doing wrong and they're not doing right, they're provoking us to react and talk about them. And sometimes people curse them out. You know what I'm saying? But Burna Boy did not even in any way attack or talk about speedometer. You understand? Acme or Speed Darlington. He just went ahead and started ranting and talking about him. And there's one of the videos that he made. They were talking about, that Burna Boy can go ahead and even literally, you know what I'm saying? F his own mom. Like, bro, I don't know, like what if you ask Fidelity now, say, bros, waiting cause you and Burna Boy fight. Ask him, what would he tell that this is what Burna Boy did to me that made me so angry that I came after him? He can't tell you one thing. Aside for the fact that he's just trying to catch cruise and just trying to stay relevant or stay trendy, and you think that is by you messing up people's record and name. If this man has built his career and built his record and built his name this whole time and this whole years, man, he has a right to fight for it. So yes, in as much as the process and the procedure, it's not proper, but the lesson was learned, and it was learned in a real hard way. You know what I'm saying? So hey, here we are today.
But what I have found, because of the jubilation I saw online when Speed Darlington was arrested, is that sometimes in Nigeria, when we cannot stand somebody, when they get arrested, you see people cheering them for, oh, they finally got you. It happened with Very Dark Man. I did not agree with, at least, I don't even remember the details of the second arrest, but that first arrest was clearly a civil case. Bobrisky, I didn't think that arrest was necessary. That's just my opinion. Erisco Foods, we know what happened and the way that Erisco Foods chairman used his power to suppress that lady. I see it as an overreach or an abuse of power. So when people do that, it gets me very concerned because what is going on? Eniola Badmus was another person who did it. You all remember shortly after the election, somebody had defamed her, saying she was like pimping people or whatnot. And next thing you know, they're arresting people. I'm not a fan of it. Take people to court. So what ACME did was 1000% wrong. I'm a little concerned about the mentality that a lot of our citizens are having. This is jungle justice as far as I'm concerned. I love Burna. When people were dragging him that he's not been an activist fighting for Nigeria, it's okay if you don't want to fight. You know what I mean? You want to preserve your mental health. You've moved on. But don't be part of the system, the corruption in the system, or the abuse in the system. I'm not trying to disrespect him. A hard lesson needed to be taught. I get it. But let's borrow a leaf from the book of Femi Falana. See how he approached the VDM case. He talked about a lawsuit, even with all the threats coming at him. I'm sure he's like, not today, then they threaten me. But he chose to approach it in court. That's a lawyer who knows what the process should be. So just sending people to people's houses is crazy.
All it takes to arrest you in Nigeria is for you to just find some cops, give them some money. That's it. You get arrested. And they will hold you for as long as the person who paid them wants you held. So it's for somebody like Burna Boy who has money. If there wasn't a public outcry for ACME, he will spend one month in detention. Nothing will happen. It is Nigeria. All those 24 hours, you get a bail. It does all those things are theoretical. They don't apply in real sense.
But you said we're forced to know his mom.
He brought out his mom for nothing.
I mean, I've never looked at Speed Dance and be like, okay, what does his mom or who is his mom? What do they look like? But here we are today. And I'm sure he'll be very, very angry that his mom was crying and begging because President no they beg.
He's still going to
no they beg.
He'll probably come out and say something.
How many oil they use for your nyash? This is the phrase. No be oil. Oil they use for your nyash. Just the raw matter. In as much as it's a fundamental human right to have freedom of expression, you need to realize also that in as much as you have freedom of expression, you must apply wisdom to expressing those freedoms of expression. Because at the end of the day, right, you have a right, I also have a right. And at the end of the day, right, how I decide to react to the expressions you're making towards me, at the end of the day, it's really up to me. At the end of the day, right, know that you have freedom of expression, but make sure that your freedom of expression is not encroaching on the freedom of the next person. Because in as much as you have freedom of expression, they also have a freedom and it's their right and their liberty to make sure that they use the laws of the land to make sure that they protect their names and their images and whatever they hold dear to themselves.
So
God bless you.
If your freedom threatens my freedom, then we should show.
If your freedom threatens my freedom, I have a right to protect my freedom and I have a right to push back. It's my human right. The same way if my freedom threatens your freedom, you do have a right to take your actions. And how you react at the end of the day, man, it's really, really up to you. Yes, good, bad, evil, whatever. I'm not the guy to come decide on what that is and what that is not at this point in time. It is the law that will say, no, that action that you took is not right or is right.
Next story. Amid the ongoing conflict in Lebanon, migrant domestic workers, particularly those from Africa, are struggling to find safety. Many have been abandoned by their Lebanese employers and are unable to access emergency shelters. The escalation of violence triggered by the Hamas-led attacks on Israel on October 7, 2023, has led to Israeli airstrikes and a ground offensive in Lebanon. There is an estimate that over 1.2 million Lebanese nationals have been displaced, but no reliable figures for the number of foreign nationals, including African migrant workers. By the way, over 2,000 Nigerian citizens are in Lebanon, but only about 500 have registered with the government's mission to help evacuate them because the Nigerian government is trying to bring people home, but most have not expressed a desire to come back.
I saw a video, where, some young ladies, I don't know if they're from Nigeria or they're from some other African country. They were talking about, their madams, that their boss that they work for, leaving them in Lebanon with the keys to the houses and run away to Dubai and all of that, So I mean, I when I saw that, I just thought to myself that, look, man, whenever there's a problem anywhere in Africa, you see, or anywhere in the world rather, black people and Africans are always like the casualty. Like you must collect. It's sad, but it's just how it is. Like black people, like you guys are like the first people to like receive the heat. If especially you're not even in your country at the time when those problems or troubles breaks out and all of that. Oftentimes, black people are like the casualties. It's just sad. It's really sad. It shows you how some people could be, some humans could be. I also read somewhere that some of these ladies, especially when they get these visas to go work in Lebanon and all these Gulf countries, their bosses seize their passport, hold their passport back, and with that, they cannot even decide to say, okay, I'm tired of this. Because oftentimes it's slave labor. It's not even real job. Like it's under serious and stringent conditions. And people still go to these countries. And now the Nigerian government want to bring back some Nigerians or most of the Nigerians, but they don't even want to come back. Then again, you ask yourself what's happening to the mindset and what's happening to the mind of these people. Is it that they feel like Nigeria is that terrible that they rather stay in Lebanon, that is about to be hit real hard with what's going on in the Middle East, than come back home in Nigeria? It's just sad. It's a sad reality, and I feel bad for what's going on. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, you touched some of the things I wanted to say about how we come and all of these agencies disguise slavery as attractive economic opportunities in these countries. And I'm particularly not a fan of the Arab world when it comes to slavery, because slavery actually started with them before the Europeans decided to turn it to that level of at that commercial scale. Um, if you come across Africans in the Arab world and the way they're being treated is dehumanizing, and it begs for attention. I don't know. I cannot speak to why people refuse to come back to Nigeria, because we do not know the circumstances that have led people to leave. And so I don't criticize people's decisions when they decide not to return to Nigeria for whatever reasons. Many people, they've had their families sell all their properties. There's hope that things will get better for them to make lives better. Some people from this, terrible jobs that they do still are able to send money to their parents. Some of them have left their children at home. This is how they feed, the repatriation of funds home and all of that. So it's very difficult to sit here and say, oh, why aren't they coming back to Nigeria? For a lot of people, leaving Nigeria is a form of, escape, escape from so many things. You don't know the tragedies that have befallen people and why they are running away. Yeah, if people who have money can't leave Nigeria, what do you think about those who have no means whatsoever? And I keep saying, when you're caught between hopelessness and helplessness, death is the only thing that stands in front of you, and anything else that suggests life, no matter however long you stay into the abyss, you're going to just take it as an option. For some people, Nigeria is a death sentence, and they cannot return to Nigeria. That being said, I think the Committee of Nations, especially African countries, and I cannot even say African countries because this slavery is done in Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco,
Libya,
even
and
Libya.
all of these places. So maybe sub-Saharan Africa, there has to be concerted effort among these nations to protect Africans from Africans and to protect Africans from the Arab world, because the exploitation has continued centuries after it started. And it's beyond Abikadabi just flying to no, they just continue to strengthen that agency and get to the point where we're able to fully prevent people from finding themselves in those situations. It is slavery, my sister, brother. It is slavery.
Let me just quickly add that Senator Akpabio has told Nigerians to prioritize love for the nation above financial gain. I prioritize love for the nation and went back to Nigeria for 5.5 years. I was there for love of nation. There was a period where everybody was rejackmaing, That was that Tiwa Savage era, that beginning phase, 2012, 2013. So some of us, were like, oh, let's go do our thing, okay? And I went. And I went because of love of country. People thought I was crazy. People literally said, are you well? My family looked at me like, what? But I loved it so much. And I had all these bright dreams and visions. And it's not to say it was a waste of time. I gained a lot of great things. I would never have met both of you had I not gone back, actually. So that's major for me as far as I'm concerned. So I met some very wonderful people who I hold dearly. It became very tough. And I just want to say, with all due respect, everybody doesn't have to leave, but I think people have stopped with that conversation of, if you leave, who will now fix the country? Bro, we tried to fix the country didn't fix me, so I had to go. So don't blame anybody. If you don't have an intention of leaving, I commend you. Shout out to you. You can thrive anywhere, even in North Korea. However, for me, it just did not work. It's not to say it's completely a fail and it will never work, but as of this present moment, I have no interest. Sorry. And that's very sad to say, right? Because no matter where you go, you're a second-class citizen.
I do not discourage anybody trying to leave Nigeria. I don't. Pray about it. And if you're convinced that you have better options wherever you go, please keep it moving. I will not tell you to stay in Nigeria. I won't. If you made up your mind to leave, it's not patriotism, it's just the absolute lack of, I don't know if you guys saw this video of this orthopedic surgeon who just went back to Nigeria and he's been
from
news.
Yeah.
Was it from is it from Michigan or
From
where?
America.
I think Michigan or Minnesota.
I think it's Minnesota. Like when he's talking to foreigners in Nigeria or foreigners generally, they discuss opportunities. When he's talking to Nigerians, they discuss problems. And he just, I really admire his commitment. I admire his desire. I admire his business, because what the area of expertise that he's going to Nigeria with is something that shows there's a potential for optimal growth in that area. However, I wish him well.
Yeah, shout out to him, because somebody has to do it. But we are doing our own, playing our part virtually, right?
They said that dual citizens, they like Nigeria pass. The day I came across that statement, I laughed. He said that dual citizens, they like Nigeria pass.
But this is the thing, if we all leave, who's gonna fix the country, guys?
Hey, go back now.
No, let's see. I can't go back now. I'm here now. The people that have not come, don't come yet. Somebody to fix the country. We love Nigeria. Stay back. We're with you guys in prayer. We believe in you guys. We're praying for you. We're supporting you. This is not me being sarcastic or anything. Somebody has to stay back. Because at the end of the day, right? Somebody asked me a question one time, right? And it was like, he said, how many times, the times I lived in Lagos, when I was in Lagos, how many times have I walked on the street and I see like actual, maybe like Americans or British guys or all these people just living in Lagos and mass and all of that. And how many times do I see those guys go to their own churches in their countries and give testimony? Oh, I have visa to Nigeria. But we do it where we're from. So at the end of the day, right? I mean, we all can't live at the end of the day, my brothers and sisters. That is the reality of things. Some people need to stay back to build the system. We are building the system, we'll support with finance. When we have a time, we'll go back, we'll set up some business to help employ people, and support, in our own ways, and, and see how we can keep pushing the narrative.
Poorest country in the world has the richest man. So there would always be people who are making it in Nigeria. The people who make it in Nigeria for nothing.
Paul Pogba's doping ban has been reduced after the Court of Arbitration for Sport accepted that his consumption of a banned substance was unintentional. Initially facing a 4-year suspension, the Juventus midfielder's ban was cut to 18 months. The organization noted that Pogba should have exercised greater caution in the situation. The 31-year-old was suspended in February by Italy's National Anti-Doping Tribunal after elevated testosterone levels were found in his system.
Testosterone.
While CAS upheld the anti-doping violation, they reduced the punishment, with the ban now effective from September 11, 2023. So Pogba is expected to resume training in January and will be eligible to play again by March.
Wow. So are we saying that footballers can now use drugs like tadalafil, Cialis, Cialis and Viagra? They cannot?
No, that's performance enhancing.
Yeah, but what kind of performance though?
Kabuchi.
No, I'm just saying. Wait, they're saying how is the rise in testosterone level? I'm not disputing the science behind how that could be an advantage, but if somebody is sexually is there a word like sexually impaired? If someone is sexually I'm not even talking about impotence now. Like I play soccer, right? No, I'm just saying that. No, let's talk about it. I play soccer, right? And for some reason,
You take Viagra.
I'm just saying, like, it's not me. Like, I play soccer, right?
Uh-huh.
I play for a club like Manchester United or one of these clubs, and my thing is not working properly. I have an obligation as a husband to my partner to ensure that in that aspect of my life, my performance is at the optimal level. Now, there is a deficiency. I'm unable to, as it should go. And it is a taboo in my family where I come from to be called a 1 minute or 1.5 second man. Because I saw a video of me with a timer and the guy was like, oh, but he only lasted for 90 seconds. Now, I decide to enhance my performance so that I can, maintain the dignity of my family. The most important part of a man's life is his seed. Forget the rest. That's why God said, go and multiply.
But that seed, but some country, you don't need 1 hour to give that seed now.
No, I'm just saying 1 hour, but have you not heard women say that 99% of Nigerian women say they've not attained orgasm in their entire marriage?
But I said you don't need 1 hour to get that seed. If it's the seed that we're talking about.
I know now, but you have to make the seed make sense, unless the pollination will be poor. The quality of
seeds.
Are you saying some kids born
in 2 seconds?
In 2 seconds, they are those childs are not complete because
their mothers are angry, and the anger of their mothers, you will see it in the children. You know, the children of nowadays, they come out frowning. Have you seen all these children? It's the anger of the mother. Because how can you pin a woman down and in 90 seconds you are done and she's pregnant? It's not fair.
But wait, so Toto Dike said Churchill came in 45 seconds.
That's why Toto Dike's son bears Tonto's name.
Wisdom, Rema.
I'm telling you, if the act that has made a woman redundant, because pregnancy is a form of redundancy, for 9 months is one where she did not derive pleasure, the anger is usually transferred to the child. I'm telling you, it's not like she agree with the child, though, but you will see the child go upset on behalf of the mother. Rather, to this point.
So in all of this, now, what is your advice?
As a man, let them call you a community prick. It's okay.
What?
Let them call you a sperm donor. It's okay. Let them call you a horse band. It's okay. Don't allow them call you a 1 minute man. It's a challenge. Oh God, I'm not saying go and use Peloria or Giacomo or something, but because all those things to affect liver, kidney, and all those things. But make sure that even if you are not going to the gym to lose your belly fat, you are going there to support your libido. Don't I'm serious. So my question is, when a man uses those performance enhancement drugs to enhance his performance in his duty to his wife at home, and then he gets tested on the field, is that a fair way to look at it?
Okay. So to answer your question, I want to talk specifically about Viagra. Viagra, for instance, is, as we know, used to treat erectile dysfunction. It increases blood flow, and helps
Zora, you know so much about these things.
I don't. It's Abib that knows so much about it.
I do.
There have been debates about this potential. But see, that what it also does is it improves oxygen delivery to muscles, especially at high altitudes. So there have been debates about it potentially enhancing an athlete's performance. Some people have abused that. Some athletes have explored using Viagra for its potential and benefits in endurance sports. Now, it's not necessarily listed by the World Anti-Doping Agency. It's not necessarily listed as a banned substance, but they do review it for its potential performance enhancing benefits, so they can reevaluate it. But I do not agree with you that for a child to make sense, the performance has to be longer than 5 seconds.
No, I didn't say the child has. I didn't say that.
Isn't that what I said?
No, I didn't say that. What I said was that if the pregnancy is as a result of a 90-second engagement, that child
will be angry.
The child comes to be angry on behalf of their mother.
So all the people in the world that are angry, because in Nigeria, for instance, a lot of people are angry.
Have you not seen that a lot of women have said that they've never achieved orgasm in their homes, in their marriage? Is
So the children are angry.
A lot of women are angry in their marriages.
So people who are happy people, like I am naturally happy, Kabuchi
Your
is
son
happy.
will be happy. I'm telling you for a fact. What are you talking
So
about?
you're a happy child.
I'm a happy child. I don't think my father spent 90 seconds. Alaji. Alaji only 90 seconds. No, I'm telling you, look, let them call you broke. Let them call you broke. Let them call you, don't magba. Like, it's a shame. Rí pé Churchill orúkọ ọmọ tó ń to orúkọ bàbá tó ń to lọmọ Churchill ń jẹ́. What are you talking about?
So you mean for that thing so is what made her to help me ọmọ ẹ
tó bá jẹ́ wípé orgasm oyún yẹn ó wá láti orgasm tí tó ń tó enjoy. Àwọn ọmọ ẹ náà máa ń ní orúkọ oríṣiríṣi. Wọ́n tún máa pọ ọmọ yẹn junior. Làwọn bàbá ò ṣe dáadáa wọ́n sọmọ junior. Well, have
you heard Churchill's version of the story?
What are you talking about? The day I heard this conversation, that when it was on Facebook, and a lot of women were, what even led to it was a woman that said, armed robbers came to rob, and so they raped the wife, and so the thief wanted to go a second round, and the husband was where he was held and was struggling, and the woman was like, leave him, we'll make it continue. It seemed more like a joke when I saw it, but what baffled me most was the response of Nigerian women on that thread. And a lot of them, 99% of the people that responded to that post were in support of that woman. They were justifying her action, asking for a second round from the thief, because a lot of them said many of them have not experienced orgasm.
So they're on that table.
Marriages.
But
they say they pretend. Okay. So I don't understand why they fake orgasm.
Yeah, this question for you, because you're the lady here, right? Is it true? Because I've read science and all that. Is it true that it's not all women that can actually reach orgasm naturally?
Sometimes, contrary to what people think, sometimes it's not necessarily up to the man. He has a lot to do with it, but it's not completely on him. Some women just reach climax in different ways. There are some women who medically cannot.
Okay.
So women like that could use therapy.
Okay.
Now I feel like a doctor. But
anyway, go ahead.
No, some women just naturally cannot reach orgasm, and some people have medical limitations. Some people have trauma that gets in the way. So some people, for them, it's psychological. It's just a whole lot of things, but not every woman reaches orgasm.
Okay. Does circumcision, which genital mutilation, does that have anything to do with this? Could that be also a reason why some women might not be able to?
It could be a factor, but not necessarily the case.
Okay.
Again,
so
I'm an expert in this area.
Okay, legend.
You're an expert.
Yes, I am. When you speak about mutilation, genital mutilation and all that, it only applies to women who achieve orgasm from clitoral stimulation. Women who tell you that it's not paka like a plumber trying to plunge. That is
not. Wait, what?
Yeah, so women will tell you that it's not paka like you're trying to plunge the toilet. No, like some women, they are almost at the point of climax just by mental stimulation. They call themselves sapiosexual, though we know their exes. And they start talking about
they are what?
They are what?
You see people say I'm sapiosexual, but we know their exes. Where is the intelligence that attracted you to this man? What do you need? I'm talking to you on a date. You tell me you're a sapiosexual, meaning that you are stimulated sexually by intelligence. But I know your ex.
I know. Nothing to do with intelligence.
I know your ex. What is the intelligence about your ex? So I was speaking with a lady recently about this issue, and she said, number one, some women don't even know when they've come. But she said something that baffled me, a lot more about the female anatomy. And she was saying that a lot of women do not even know that within their private region that, it may seem like the same path, but there are different things happening, for urine, and for some people think it's just the same tract that leads to that. And, if as a woman, you don't even understand your body to that point, it's bad. This is my question. On that thread, a lot of women came and they were alluding to the fact that they truly fake orgasm. And the most annoying excuse I've heard from any woman on earth to back that painful suppression of sexual desire is that, oh, I didn't want to hurt his ego. What ego are you talking about? A man's sexual pleasure is mechanical, in and out, and he will come.
Na motorcycle.
No, I'm just telling you, a man will come. There are instances where people want to make love to their. I don't even want to use partners. There are instances where people want to make love to women. The woman is that time of the month. Some people, if like this, they will come. So for a man, it's just once there is some sort of frictionless movement, it will come. It's mechanical. It doesn't need any artistry. But women is different. Women is different. The way I look at sex and orgasm for men is like Ronaldo. Women is like Messi. It takes a lot of. I'm telling you. That's why women will tell you that, okay, if you want to put me in the mood, start texting me before you leave your place of work. Let me be in that mental space ready for you. And then you come, and but most of you will not listen. You just go poko, 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 poko. You sleep like a log. You think you have done. Odogu what?
I am Odogu. That's my language. Odogu is masquerade name.
10 years, your wife has not come once. Odogu, what are you? Odogu, what are you now, Kabuchi?
Is this your
years?
I'm Odogu spender.
No. And again, I keep
spender.
saying it. The shame that we tie to sex is the reason why we always feel like a lot of women should not be expressive when it comes to sexual pleasure. But it's changing. And that's why many of them now use toys. Again, as a man, your wife is not attaining orgasm. You have come, you have slept. After a while, it becomes a chore to her. You are not good. And this is one thing, again, that men do not realize. The fact that a woman is wet does not mean she's interested in sex. It is just her body's reaction to touch. It's like a man having erection. It does not mean there's sexual desire. Certain parts of a man's body, once you touch it, he can be erected. It does not mean that he wants to knock, as the word is. So a lot of men, when it gets to a point in time, women no longer respond. But again, it's mechanical for men. He doesn't care.
But Gloria just Gloria just said that even after all of this, it is still not all women that can reach orgasm. So what if a man out there is watching this now and they have a partner who they've done everything above and beyond, trust me, and probably done everything right, and still doesn't happen for them or their partner?
Do you know that there are some women that don't get wet at all? It's a medical condition. They don't get wet. This is where communication becomes very important in marriages, in relationships. Let me not talk about marriage because people knock any stage, talking stage, any stage, they're knocking. What I'm saying is that why do women feel like, let me not lie, I'll use myself as an example. If I'm happy now and you tell me I'm not feeling, I'm not going to be offended. I won't. I will slow down and ask you, what is it that we want to do? Don't let me be searching for crude oil in the north. If you know, people touch them. A lot of women touch themselves. They know the places that when they touch, they get fire. Let me know. Don't. It's not when I'm trying to knock that you want to see whether I'm a man and say you should discover it yourself. No. If you know that your G-spot is between the labia and majora minora. Let me know. Do you understand what I'm saying? They will say, oh, you need to find out. I understand the mystery, the stimulation that comes from a man trying to figure out where it is. But if you know that he's not getting it, put him back on track. Do you understand? But you know, where you are faking it, but you are telling him harder. To do what? Do you understand? Which ego are you massaging?
You're faking it, but you're telling him harder.
Yes, women to a very large extent
that deception is deep
to contribute to their frustration, sexual frustration in marriages. If the
So are you
man is
saying
not
that women
satisfying
are
you, have a conversation with him. Because if your soup is not sweet, he will tell you.
Carry
It's
on,
the
Paul.
truth.
that
It's the
deception is
truth.
deep?
Carry
So are you
on, good
saying that
pot
women
of
are
soup.
very good at this deception and deceiving a lot of
It's
men?
self-deceit and it's self-injurious too. You are the one hurting. The guy doesn't care. It's not like he doesn't care. It doesn't take much for him to come. It doesn't take much for a man to come. It does not require any extra skill.
Trust me.
Now
I didn't
imagine
know this
executing a
conversation.
90-second man. It's done in 2 minutes. You just enter inside room. The woman is adjusting. She has not even removed bra. You have on here. I'm come where? Where did you come to? How?
We're just starting.
I don't understand. You don't see the expression on a lot of women's faces when their husbands say they've come. Sometimes it's like they should choke him. How to get away with murder. It's the truth. It's the truth. Sexual expression is a valid. Is a valid. Look, if
Is
I
it
were to
lying or
be,
not? Tell
if
us,
I were to be a
Jogo.
mediator, if I were to be a mediator and arbitrator on relationships, I can dissolve a marriage on the grounds of sexual frustration. I can. It's enough to be frustrated. What are you talking about? You don't see that when you get to work sometimes, you see some women, they're extraordinarily happy on a Monday morning. The weekend was good. Facts.
Is that true?
It's the truth.
Why are you asking me? I don't go to work. Okay.
No, you work, my sister. You
I
have a
don't
job.
work.
You have a job.
Research has shown that a lot of people that suffer from insomnia, when they have good sex, they sleep. That we need to be talking about. Sex is not something that you should, once you are married, there shouldn't be shame. Once you are married, you shouldn't be ashamed of discussing your sexual pleasure with your partner. Only needs to paka your walk.
Like keke na pep.
Rush lo biko now. Be me at Nicola Wanule.
Translation.
Paka is not working. You and I are the only one in this house. Only ones in this house, rather. Where are you going? Where are you rushing to?
Mama Jamie Rush been doing.
What are you talking
slow
about?
down.
Before we even choose the movie to watch on Netflix, you don't come. How?
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, we can't chill because you have already spilled.
Habib.
It's the truth. I told you I'm an expert in this. I'm an expert. I will
We
tell
see.
you. I went to study. You cannot pretend that you are sexually satisfied with your partner. Don't do it.
So this is the thing, yeah. I think you should also like talk to women, right? If you're not comfortable with something and there's something that you know that, deep inside of your mind and your heart, you're not satisfied with what he's doing or what your partner is doing, express yourself. Say what you want, because like you said, again, a lot of women lead men on, and he thinks everything is good, but meanwhile, she's not happy inside of her. So open your mouth and say, look, young man or whatever you call your partner, whatever, look, you're not doing this thing right. Let's do it this way. Or let us, take our time to understand ourselves, understand our body, So yes, the women also have a part to play in this, Do not just keep lying to him and lying to yourself, living that life of, lies. So I think also they need to pick up.
But we need to educate brothers too. Because
men can take it personally too.
No, you can't. And then number one. Number two, there are also women. You see, at the end of the day, because of religion, because of custom, because of tradition, sexual freedom is higher with men than women. There's a burden of chastity, modesty, morality that we expect from women. So when you find women that are sexually expressive, they start calling them prostitutes.
You become repulsive sometimes.
Sometimes you see, there was a particular man that was sharing a story of how, when he was with his wife, whenever he was close, she could tell that he was close to ejaculation. She would detach. Then she would adjust again. So after a while, the man started thinking, Abi, my wife don't they go try all these things outside. Meanwhile, she was just trying to spice up the bedroom. So it's the men listening and watching us and listening to us now. This is time for you to also try to understand your wives, your partners, sexual drivers, sexual stimulants, and the things that your partner likes about sex, and be patient. Spend 1 hour on another region. Spend another 30. You people, there's an ultimate goal for mutual satisfaction. Where are you running to? Please spend time. Satisfy her. You don't even need to ask for breakfast. When next morning, food will wait for you. Telling you. But a woman that went to bed angry, upset, then you are snoring at 1 o'clock, you now touch her. You want to disrupt that sleep for another 90 seconds. No, now. Bro, man doing, and they lead to things they happen.
Well, on Instagram, X, Facebook, anywhere there's a social media platform, we're there, the Tribe Africa. And we will see you next time.